I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All 6 of them.
Who are you?
Kids have their heads in the clouds. Look at Billy. He dreams all day.
Earth calling Billy.
Hey, Billy, can't just stream our lives away.
But one day, a rock and roll dream came true. A purple people eater, playing rock and roll music through the horn on his head.
Wow!
Come on, everybody, do the purple.
Purple is a little strange, but that's because he's a real artist.
Starring Ned Beatty.
What's it look like?
Very punk.
Shelley Winters.
I'm going to twist it up. I'm going to twist it down. I'm going to twist it up and then around.
And of course, purple. Special guest appearances by Chubby Checker. And Little Richard. Purple People Eater. It's a rock and roll dream come true.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video. There's another paid request, this time for Brandon. And if anyone's interested in requesting any other type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, anything random, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or on my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. Just please be aware it may take me a bit of time to get to your requests, but I will do the best I can. And I apologize for the lateness for anybody. I get mad at myself for that, so I apologize. But this is for Purple People Eater. And yes, I'm doing this series of videos with this hat. I still got the other hat over there, but just want to do things a little bit differently because I like this hat too. But Purple People Eater from 1988 is the review for today. I know it's like a minute in, I haven't talked about the film. But the movie, from what I understand, it doesn't have a DVD or Blu-ray. Pretty much the best way to find it is on YouTube and VHS quality. If it is on DVD, then I'm wrong, frankly. I couldn't find it. And this is a film I did not grow up with. It is a kid's film in the friendly alien genre. After the success of E.T., you had Mac and Me, you had Newty, other films with a friendly alien. This is definitely better than those two. It's hard to call this a good movie. I mean, it's definitely in a way, a cookie-cutter plot of, how the hell do I even explain it? I say cookie-cutter, but there's a lot of strange stuff in this too. When I say cookie-cutter, the main plot is a few old people are going to be evicted because this guy is evil and he wants to develop condos. So we have to evict these people out of their homes. That's the plot you've seen in a dozen type of movies. From kids films to TV shows to the evil land developer. We want some condos. It's always about condos. At least back in the day. The weird part of the plot is the reason the alien comes down is because of this song, Purple People Eater, is played. One eye, one horn, purple people eater. And the cast, you have Neil Patrick Harris, before, Doogie Howser, MD. He would be in the Harold Kumar movies, How I Met Your Mother TV show. A very young Neil Patrick Harris. His parents go out of town for a bit. He's staying with his grandpa played by Ned Beatty. Ned Beatty, who was in Deliverance, who squealed like a pig in that movie, who's been in quite a few other stuff. You also have Shelley Winters from The Poseidon Adventure, and an actress from back in the day. I'm not sure a lot of people know her nowadays. She plays someone who is a friend of Ned Beatty's, and she's one of the people being evicted. Also, Neil Patrick Harris's baby sister is Thora Birch. Thora Birch from Hocus Pocus, Patriot Games, American Beauty, the same Thora Birch. Also, Dustin Diamond, which I know he sadly passed away recently. He's in this in a few scenes. Before, Saved by the Bell, here's Dustin Diamond with bigger hair. And yeah, he's in a few scenes as one of Neil Patrick Harris's school friends. You also have appearances by Chubby Checker and Little Richard. Hell, Little Richard plays the mayor of this town, and he mainly appears at the end of the flick. And the movie definitely has a good, pretty solid 50s soundtrack. Because the alien himself even says that it took like 25 years there's a 25-year difference with radio waves. So the music he was listening to is from songs from 25 or so years ago. So for the most part, it's songs from the 50s and 60s. And so Neil Patrick Harris, who's this kid who has all these pets, got a kitty, a dog, a goose named Easter. I tell you one thing, that goose gets on your fucking nerves quickly. Go honk, honk, honk. It's like, shut the fuck up, goose, goddammit. Come on, goose. I'm gonna put the goose in a fire plant and have it fucking shot down. Goose! Shut the fuck up, goose. God damn it. So like I said, his parents are heading out of town. He's staying with his grandpa. Gets along with his grandpa. They mess around with painting. And then again, there's some good songs like Good Golly, Miss Molly. Yeah. And throughout the... Like I said, pretty decent 50s, 60s era soundtrack. And they start playing a song, The Purple People Eater, and this alien comes on down. Now, the body of him is pretty much someone in a suit, of course. But I actually like the look of the creature. And that's because it's done by the Chiodo brothers. If you don't know who that is, the Chiodo brothers did effects for Critters, did effects for, and directed Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I did not realize they were the ones who did this, but I like the facial look of the creature. The face, the eye, the way the eye moves, and the lips. Not too bad lip syncing considering it's a furry type of creature. And this is a low budget affair. This is not going to have the budget of E.T. But, I mean, compared to Mac and Me, the alien in there, and Newty, and some of these other friendly alien movies, the face and look of the Purple People Eater, which they did name Purple, it's actually pretty good effect. Again, the way the eye moves, and when I say weird, yeah, it's a Purple People Eater. It's got one horn, and it plays saxophone from that horn. And when the saxophone plays, you'll see this animated musical notes around it. And so, as an adult, you're like... But I could see this being a film that a lot of kids... I probably would have liked it more as a kid. As it is now, it's an oddity. It's a curiosity piece. And that's really how I looked at it the other day. I didn't hate the film. It was short enough. Nowadays, this type of film would have fart jokes and shit jokes and that type of humor. It's a very harmless movie where people see this purple and pretty much everybody else thinks it's just someone in a costume 24/7. Which I guess the more I think about it, they probably, since it does, the body looks like a costume, I guess I could see why they would think that. Right, I would think, wow, it must be a very high-tech costume because the eyeball and stuff are moving pretty good, but... And no one really questions why he never takes off the costume if they think it's a costume. Like, every time I see you, it's in a costume. Like, Neil Patrick Harris is pretty much the only one who knows it's an alien. And when Neil Patrick Harris sees the alien, he seems pretty relaxed in finding a purple alien with a horn that could be stuck up his ass. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to let that one go. As I spill water on myself. Thank you. Filled up too damn high. And I got water on myself. Yay, yippee. I'm too excited by the purple people here who has these little fairy wings. Which are like little fairy wings. Which they don't really move that well. That's one piece of the effect that is lacking. But yeah, the movements of the eye and mouth is fairly good for this low-budget flick. And as a kid, I just looked at this creature and going, okay, pretty cute, fuzzy. You know, again, the face is not scary, it's not frightening, it's very kid-friendly. It's nice. The humor is a type of humor, for example, Neil Patrick Harris hides him out, and then the next day finds the creature in the dryer, slowly going round and around. And the creature does talk, fairly high-pitched talk. Some people may be annoyed by the voice. It didn't bother me as much as probably does others. You know, I could deal with the voice. You know, he doesn't talk a whole lot, and again, I've heard much worse, so I was fine with it. I don't know who did the voice, but it was fine for what it is. You know, Neil Patrick Harris, he's kind of bland, which is surprising because I liked him as an actor. I remember him being fairly good in Doogie Howser. I try to remember what year that started. Was he doing Doogie Howser at the time? He might have been, or it might have been a little bit afterward. I don't know what year Doogie Howser started. For people who remember Doogie Howser, MD, if you don't, it was a TV show where a kid was so smart he jumped enough grades that he became like the youngest doctor, and that was kind of the gimmick. But then when he grew so much taller after only like 2 years, the gimmick kind of faltered, because it's like, well, the whole gimmick is that he's so young, but he's a doctor, but now he looks almost as old as them because he had a growth spurt. So again, I think that's one of the reasons why the show didn't last long. But I haven't seen that in forever. I remember not minding it, but it's been forever since I've seen it. Yeah, I would say nowadays people remember him more for either the Harold and Kumar movies or the How I Met Your Mother TV show. But yeah, he's a little bit bland. He's okay. He's like alright. He's alright, but just a little bland. Again, for seeing this type of alien, he seems pretty damn calm. Like, no freaking out at all. And that's what I mean, like, when you look at it compared to a film like E.T., like, E.T. is definitely a more polished film. Like, the acting, the characters in E.T., they're definitely more polished. And a little bit more of the genuine emotion. That's the thing, is that there's not really a big emotional heart to it. It's more like, it's alright, it's goofy, it's silly, it's... Well, that's not true. There's one moment that I thought had a decent emotional part to it. So, to be fair. Because as is going on, there's a point they find Purple at a mall, and Ned Beatty just out of the blue goes, hey, you two should form a band. I don't know where the hell I was like, okay, Grandpa, alright. And then Ned Beatty and Shelley Winters, they actually do a good job. For a film about a purple people eater alien, Ned Beatty and Shelley, I keep wanting to say Shelley Duvall. Shelley Winters. Sorry, Shelley Winters. Shelley Duvall was in Popeye and The Shining. Shelley Winters. They're not phoning it in. So I give props to that. They're not phoning in their performances. And there's a point where Ned Beatty finds out his friend Shelley is not eating and goes to be with her, and she's like, oh, what's the point of eating? I'm like, wait. But then she continued to talk about how she's going to be evicted, and if she's going to die, she wants to die here with her things. She doesn't want to die homeless in the street, and she's playing it well as if it's a serious drama. And then they bring Purple by, and he charms her, and they're playing cards. But then the asshole guy comes by. I'm going to evict both of you, and it's going to be in a few days. So she goes to the hospital. And then Purple watches, and he's crying. I don't know, the way it's done, and the way they got the acting on this creature, actually have it get to cry from his one eye, I thought, okay, that actually wasn't too bad. I know this sounds stupid. Part of me wishes they would have gone even more in that direction, because that would have been even crazier and even more interesting to me. That wouldn't. Well, I mean, it's not like this film was a big hit. I don't even think it has a DVD, let alone a Blu-ray release. It's not like if it had a DVD, it's out of print, or it never. I mean, it was not like it was a popular film. So yeah, go even more for broke, even more crazy to me. And I thought, wow, that's actually kind of an effective little dramatic scene. Montimes of the band playing, and it's not Neil Patrick Harris singing, because he sings and like a 30-year-old voice comes out of his mouth. It'd be like if I did the review and then all of a sudden now it's Wesley Snipes talking, or it's Robert Englund, or Charlton Heston. He's dead, I know, but you'd be like, what the fuck? That voice doesn't sync up right. Why didn't you just have him try to sing with his normal voice? You didn't need to put a 30-year-old voice in his mouth. Put a 30-year-old... No, that's another bad joke waiting to happen. Never mind. But you didn't need that. But yeah, the music was fun. I mean, you got Chubby Checker himself. People might not even know who that is. Look him up on YouTube. From back in the day. He's in a dance scene. Then the songs work. The acting from Ned Beatty and Shelley Winters are fine. Thora Birch, interested to see her play a role well before, like I said, Hocus Pocus and American Beauty and others. Interested to see Neil Patrick Harris. Again, he's bland, but the production value is fairly cheap in the fact of, like, the camera work, editing, direction. There's really nothing to talk about. I mean, the production could be made for TV. You know, other than, I mean, even the effects when the purple people come in and out, it's like a really crappy animated, like, tornado. Like I said, if you told me this was a made-for-TV movie, I could buy it. There's really nothing that screams at theatrical release production-wise. Now, maybe that's because it's on VHS quality. If it has this grand cinematography and look, there's no way to see it, as far as I know. The one big unintentional laughter, I don't know why I laughed about this, is when Shelley is taken to the hospital, Purple's crying, this very serious moment, and then Neil Patrick Harris turns to Ned Beatty and goes, "Grandpa, what's it like to die?" And for some reason, I cracked up about that. I don't know why, because it's a serious line, but I just didn't see that coming, that question. "Grandpa, what's it like to die?" I'm like, what the... I don't know why it made me laugh. I don't know. I didn't see that coming. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know it sucks. What's the answer you're looking for? What droids are you looking for? What answer? It's right, Neil. It's right, kid. It's right to die. Like what? Welcome to die. It's just so- Another thing that was confused by, they go to the hospital and Purple gives Shelley a gift. I made it myself. She opens it and we see behind her shoulder the page is empty. So did he give her an empty note? Or was the purpose that Purple didn't know what he was doing and didn't write a note or anything? So I made it, but he said I made it myself. Was that the joke? But you would think the camera would be centered, boom, piece of paper, there's nothing on it. Okay, that's the joke. It's like, I made it for you, but there's nothing. But it's far away enough, and she acts like, oh, thank you. I'm like, was there supposed to be something on the paper? Unless the quality is so shitty, there's writing, I didn't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's supposed to be, maybe there's writing in there, I didn't see it, because of the shitty quality. I don't know. But it looked like the fucking paper, the letter was empty. I don't know. I didn't understand that. Went over my fucking head. The third act, and then it gets zany, where the kids, and they're going to have a benefit concert to raise money so that Shelley Winters and such don't get evicted. But then the evil guy steals, kidnaps the Purple People Eater, ties it up in a pool hall. For a second, I'm like, are you going to fuck it? Are you going to rape it? Are you going to rape the Purple People Eater? Which, by the way, he doesn't eat any people and doesn't eat any purple people. Maybe that's why he didn't eat anybody, because he eats only purple people. But he's purple, so does he eat himself? Is he a cannibal? He's a Purple People Eater. Maybe he's not a person, so purple. If there's purple people, he'll eat them. But anyway, when the guy's tying I'm like, is this some weird BDSM fetish thing that I'm gonna witness? No, of course it's not. It's a kid's film. So ties the purple up. The next day, finally gets out. Oh, by the way, when they see Shelley Winters at the hospital, there's a big promotion of Dunkin' Donuts. Because it's Dunkin' Donuts right there, big and bold. Granted, maybe not as big as McDonald's Mac and Me, but still, it's like, there's Dunkin' Donuts on the donuts. So, it made me hungry for donuts, but there's no donuts. Not around here, it sucks. But Purple escapes, and he did like a little zany escapes, rides on a horse, steals a car, listens to 50s music, gets there to the benefit concert. Neil Patrick Harris ain't singing yet again. It's someone else. There's Little Richard as the mayor. And then Purple Premier says, my job is done. And barely says a goodbye. And that's the difference between a film like E.T. and a film like this. Where, the goodbye between human and alien, they make it a big moment, big connection. Here, they're doing the benefit concert, and Purple just says, bye, Billy, and just leaves. But there's no really big heart. There's no big emotion. Doesn't even say goodbye to Shelley Winters, which seemed like they had a connection. Nothing. And it's like, so that's why at the end of the day, it's a very silly, I almost want to say transparent kids film. Nothing. It's not going for anything deep or emotional. I actually would like to. Oh, why would you think a movie did that? Well, I mean, back in the day, you had Cocoon. That did it fairly well. Starman did it fairly well. E.T. did it fairly well. I liked E.T. I don't hate E.T. I think it's the best movie ever. But I never minded E.T. I think there are better films, John Carpenter's The Thing, Starman, others, but those are two very different movies, but I'm just saying, would deal with alien movies, but I liked E.T. But, I mean, again, hey, we get some musicians, Chiodo Brothers creation, which I liked. I thought it was cute. I thought the effects weren't too bad. The 50s music made it a bit different in an 80s film. You know, it's pretty decent music too. It was a short enough movie that I wasn't bored or anything. But yeah, the plot is very flimsy. There's no big... Other than that one little moment where Purple's crying, there's not really any... I know, stupid ass for emotional stuff in Purple People Eater. I'm just saying, that's why, you know, it didn't really do anything when it came out. Is that, it's just a kid's film, you just throw it out there. But, I mean, I just see, if you grew up with this as a kid, how it could be charming enough that you enjoy it to this day. Because I looked under the comments of the movie been uploaded, a lot of people say, oh, I remember this. A lot of people going, man, I thought this was a dream. I didn't think this movie existed, or I thought I imagined it. So apparently a lot of people thought they imagined this film and it didn't really exist, but it does. I guess, like, back in the day, remember you had the Love Bug? Like, those movies are for kids, and they're silly, and they're goofy, and it's not meant to win any awards or any pathos or anything. Because, I mean, you look at, like, Pixar films today, some of them do have some pathos. Wall-E, Finding Nemo, even, you know, some of the Toy Stories. Does it have any of that? No. But, I mean, like I said, if you think the concept is weird enough, yeah, it is. I actually would appreciate if it was weirder. Okay, either if it was weirder, or maybe more chaotic and crazy, or it might fail in doing this, but more emotional. But I mean, this had more merit to me than Mac and Me. Like, again, that's why I can't rant on this movie, because I've seen Mac and Me, or Shelley Winters. I mean, you think this is bad, go watch those two. And that's the thing, okay, Mac and Me gets a Blu-ray, give this film a fucking Blu-ray. If Mac and Me can get it, this is better than Mac and Me. So, I think Mac and Me is more well known because of how bad it is and how notorious it is. Well, I don't think this is notoriously bad. It's, at best, you know, kind of one of those films, like, you know, the plot, other than the alien itself, the plot itself is, again, kind of something you see on a TV show, or 2 Shades Away from a Saved by the Bell episode, you know, plot-wise. But, you know, again, the cast was interesting to see in the early days, early parts of Thora Birch, Neil Patrick Harris's career, Dustin Diamond, may he rest in peace. Again, 50s soundtrack was catchy, and the Chiodo Brothers did a pretty decent job on the alien itself. You know, it was cute, and you know, I could see as a kid I probably would have liked it, not minded it. So, but that's Purple People Eater. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.